So it's Tottenham Hotspurs 1, Manchester United 0. And just like that, my dear people, Manchester United have failed this season. They have been dismal. And right now they sit 16th with one game to go. The worst Premier League position in their history. I don't know, but it's really sad. It's difficult to be a United fan at this moment in time. And I know how difficult it was for them. You know, the only thing they could cling onto was this Europa League. And now they botched it. Now they botched it, and there are some people that are calling for Amorim to leave the club. And I don't know. I'm not for that. I'm not for that. For the mere fact that, of course, he just came this season, mid-season. In fact, he came mid-season. There's a lot that he's going to have to change. He's playing with players that are not his. He understands the mentality of Manchester United. And that is something that I feel like the players have lost their true identity. They don't know who they play for now. They don't know what United is. They only know it theoretically, but practically they have no idea what United is. And I'm afraid that at some point, fans will also get used to that and now start accepting mediocrity. Which, hence, I believe that if they keep Amorim, they have a chance. Judge him next season, full season. Judge him next season, his full season. Judge him on that. Because, United have been sacking managers. They've been losing. They've been sacking managers before they see off or they realize their contracts. Now if you sack him again, now it becomes a culture. That's the only culture that you know. To keep sacking, but there are no results. There are no trophies. So I believe the man should stick. He deserves to be there. He deserves to at least get his own players. And after getting his own players, if he still fails to do something positive, to do something that shows the trajectory of the club, then may he be sacked. But for now, the man just has to stick. And also, I believe that maybe United should try, sign managers for at least 2 years or give them 1 year contract. If they do well, then you extend. I think that's the route they're supposed to take from now going forward, because you can't keep giving managers 3-year contracts, 4 or 5 years contracts, and they fail and you sack them in their first season. That's so much loss to you, and that seems like United at the current minute, they seem to be losing every time. They have failed, to make it to the next Champions League campaign, and that alone has them losing 77 million pounds. 77 million pounds just for losing the Champions League. So you see, now it becomes difficult when a club cannot, generate some sort of income. The revenues, the only revenues they're able to do at this current point in time is through, their fan base, because we know United has a larger fan base. But the way they've been doing, they're losing fans as well, so it's tough. And now Bruno also was talking about him. If the club wants to part ways with him, then it is what it is. You see, someone like Bruno is a quality player. He's supposed to be the player that United builds their squad around. And when he now starts flirting with the idea of moving elsewhere, you understand how much of trouble United finds themselves in. It's like they're in a quicksand. They keep sinking and sinking and sinking and sinking. And the harder they fight, the deeper they go. So there just has to be a lot of things that happens this summer, man. There has to be so many things that happens in that squad. There has to be many changes. Amorim has to make sure that he brings the right type of players, and also those that he wants to stick with, they need to believe in what he is going to sell them, in what he is going to preach to them. From there onwards, it's baby steps. And I understand the pressure of coaching for United. It's a big club. Or maybe they were they aren't anymore. You see where they are in the league currently, so shout out to Andy Postecoglou, man. He said that usually in his second season I win trophies, mate, and he has. Boy has he delivered. And it's crazy how before going into the Europa League final and their position in the league currently, people were saying that whether he wins the Europa or whatever, they don't care. They want him out of their club. After he won, now they're saying, let the man sit, let the man stick, let the man stay. We want to see what will happen tomorrow, And well, I'm for that too. This is a manager that has won something that they haven't won in 17 years. The last time they won a trophy was in 2008, a League Cup. And today they win something that's far bigger and greater in magnitude than the League Cup. They've won the Europa League. This is their third UEFA final. Do they call it European final? This is their third European final in a long time. The last one they had was against Liverpool, of course, which they lost. And the other one was also in the 60s or somewhere there. Today they play against United. They managed to win. And that gives, that wipes the tears that they've cried this season. They sit 17th place. And man, I understand that Spurs has won something. And maybe right now the fans are happy and all, but being 17th place, that's alarming. What is it that he will do? What is it that you think he will change that he could not this season? What is it that you think he may change? Is it the 60 million that Spurs will get for being in the Champions League next season? Do you think that's going to help him? Do you think if maybe the club manages to buy other players, then they may be able to help him in that regard? Because Timo Werners, they're not doing anything. There are a lot of deadwood in that club, and unfortunately they also are seeking for pastures. Romero also wants to go to Atletico Madrid, so there's just going to be a busy summer for Spurs and United, and for Spurs obviously it's going to be promising, it's going to be joyful because they have something. They have something. This is a manager that knows how to win. He's brought them something which Mourinho failed to do, something which Conte failed to do, so, and he managed to bring it. He brought it to Canaan, so that's kudos for Spurs. Spurs have always been a club that I liked, more especially because they had a player that I've loved in Heung-min Son. He's been very loyal to the club. Someone who is from Asia coming into the Premier League and finding a home in Spurs. And there we have Harry, someone who is English, but still, so what, let me just vibe and go elsewhere and get a trophy, because here I will not get anything. And Son stuck to Spurs, and he became captain, and today all the hard work and the sweat and the tears that he has put in has finally paid off. Even though when he came in last night I felt like he was poor, he was a liability there, but also we can forgive him because he's been injured of late. He's been injured so much this season that also that can kill a player's rhythm, so for him to actually lift that, when they asked him if does he believe that he's a legend, he said, man, I for now I can say I'm a legend. And definitely a legend, and he's not only a legend to Spurs, he's a legend of the Premier League. That is a very good player, and for him to just retire without having something to show for it, especially playing in the Premier League, to have nothing to show for it was always going to feel like an injustice, like a cheat. So for him to be able to, to win that, it's exciting times. So, and yeah, that's what it is, guys. Congratulations to Tottenham Hotspurs. And it's unfortunate for Manchester United. Like I've always said, United are a big club. They need to come back to where they're supposed to be. The rivalry between them and Liverpool is what sold the Premier League, is what has made the Premier League that big. And now when they're far off like that, they're killing the Premier League. They need to remember who they are, and they need to rise to the occasion. They need to give the fans and the neutrals at large, and football lovers, of course, the excitement of football. They need to do that. They need to stand up and start fighting. And I don't think there's anyone better than Amorim. Amorim has won trophies. He promises trophies. His first season, he goes to a Europa League final. Although he lost it, but him being there is promising. It shows that he is capable. The only thing that has to be done is that he needs to be helped. They need to help him fund the players, the sort of players that he needs. He needs to bring them in, and the board needs to help him in that. Then he can be able to play his 3-4-3 with his type of players. Then if he does that, surely it's exciting times ahead for Manchester United. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Of course, please do not forget to like and subscribe, and share your thoughts also of what you saw. Bye bye.